A significant part of the Lincoln Lawyer Season 3's conspiracy is the connection between Glory Days and the DEA agent James DeMarco, making their background crucial to understanding the narrative. The third season follows Mickey as he defends Julian Larcos, a sex work coordinator who's accused of murdering Glory Days. Throughout the Lincoln Lawyer's timeline, small pieces of information are dropped about Glory Days' time between talking to Mickey about going to Hawaii and her death. As he tries the case, the defense attorney struggles to understand why she lied and whether he was culpable in the crime. The Lincoln Lawyer's main character believes that he might not have done enough to protect her, but he soon discovers that he couldn't have done anything to save Glory. Her murder was part of a bigger conspiracy. The most significant information comes from Glory Days' colleagues, Trina Trix and Kendall Roberts. The deceased woman had a connection with the corrupt DEA agent, James DeMarco, who manipulated her into working for him. Glory Days was an informant for DEA agent James DeMarco. Glory Days and Trina Trix became confidential informants after getting busted. Glory Days looks serious in the Lincoln Lawyer. Trina Trix confirms in the Lincoln Lawyer Season 3 that Glory Day was a confidential informant, CI, for the corrupt DEA agent James DeMarco before she ever got arrested on cocaine possession charges in Season 2. Based on the fact that both Glory Days and Trina Trix served as CIS for DeMarco, it seems that he had a tendency to seek out sex workers with the intention of busting them so that he could convince them to do his bidding. Though this isn't directly confirmed, Trina knew that giving up information on Hector Moyer could have dire consequences for her safety, so she only gave information on clients who annoyed her. However, she had a much shorter list of crimes, meaning DeMarco couldn't manipulate her as easily. Glory's lengthy rap sheet for substance use disorder and her sex work, on the other hand, put her in the prime position for his manipulation. It's unclear whether Glory Days' new agent DeMarco was corrupt from the start, but she didn't have much choice but to go along with him unless she wanted to go to jail. While passing information on her clients, Glory Days made the mistake of sharing information about the drug cartel boss. Trina Trix tells Mickey that getting Moyer off the streets became the DEA agent's primary focus, with him obsessing over how to do it. Ultimately, he created a plan involving Glory to put him behind bars permanently, which would eventually lead to Glory Days' death at the end of the Lincoln Lawyer Season 2. How Glory Days helped send Hector Moyer to prison. Glory Days: The Lincoln Lawyer Season 2 storyline connects to Agent DeMarco. When Glory Days was arrested for cocaine possession in the Lincoln Lawyer Season 2, Mickey put together a deal with the Los Angeles Police Department so that she wouldn't face charges in exchange for the man who paid her with drugs. This is part of the reason he feels guilty for Glory Days' death, believing that Hector Moyer ordered someone to murder her as revenge. However, the defense attorney eventually learns that Agent DeMarco orchestrated the entire situation. Knowing that Tijuana drug cartel boss Hector Moyer was one of Glory Days' clients, the corrupt DEA agent pressured her into cooperating. DeMarco gave her the drugs, got her arrested, used his connections with the lab to get the deal approved, and had her plant a gun at Hector Moyer's place. The weapon was unregistered and connected to a triple homicide in Nevada. After Moyer was arrested, the DEA took over based on an outstanding warrant. With the gun enhancement, Moyer's drug charges put him in prison for life. Luckily, Agent DeMarco's plot went off without a hitch and remained hidden for quite some time. Rather than acting in the name of vigilante justice, DeMarco actually planned everything so that his rival cartel would no longer have competition in the Los Angeles area. He simply wanted Moyer out of the way because it would make him more money. Unfortunately for him, Hector Moyer stayed firm in the assertion that the gun was planted, leading to his lawyer investigating the claims and subpoenaing Glory Days. Why Agent DeMarco killed Glory Days. Glory Days poses a threat to Agent DeMarco. Glory Days is dead at the end of the Lincoln Lawyer Season 2. Even though Agent DeMarco's plan initially works out in his favor, the outcome isn't without pushback in the Lincoln Lawyer. Hector Moyer remained steadfast that someone planted the unregistered gun found in his home. After discussing the situation with Sly Jr., they determined that the most likely individual with knowledge of the fabricated evidence was Glory Days, the sex worker that he hired before his arrest. To get more information on what happened, Sly Jr. issues a subpoena for Glory, which would force her to speak in either a deposition or on the stand in his habeas corpus appeal. The fact that Glory Days could tell the truth scares Agent DeMarco because her testimony would establish him as a corrupt DEA agent. Moreover, anyone looking into the Hector Moyer situation could uncover his connection with a drug cartel, ruining his lucrative arrangement. As such, he decided the best choice would be to kill Glory Days and frame someone else. What happened to James DeMarco in the Lincoln Lawyer Season 3? Hector Moyer made sure Agent DeMarco didn't get away with what he did. A photo shows Agent DeMarco hanging in the Lincoln Lawyer Season 3 finale. Unfortunately, As soon as Neil Bishop took the stand at the end of the Lincoln Lawyer Season 3, the DEA lawyer texted Agent DeMarco about what happened, giving him the opportunity to disappear without a trace. The DEA office can't find him, though it seems highly likely that they aren't even looking for him. As Mickey points out when speaking to the district attorney, the whole situation is an embarrassment to them. Luckily, Hector Moya gets justice for Glory Days, himself, Julian, and Eddie. The drug cartel leader somehow tracks down Agent James DeMarco and hangs him, placing a snake around his neck. He might have acted out of vengeance or out of his cartel's best interest. In either case, Moya takes a picture and sends it to Mickey, giving the defense attorney closure. He also follows the photo with a phone call in the Lincoln Lawyer Season 3's finale, quelling all concerns about retribution from DeMarco's cartel. This seems like Moya's way of showing Mickey respect and appreciation for his help getting out of jail.